If you're looking for a solid roulette strategy that you can use in a real casino or online, keep watching this video to the end. My name's Ed from roulettecalculators.com, and if you're not a member of roulettecalculators.com, you should pause this video, look in the description and click on the link and set yourself up a free account on our social network. That way you get to chat to myself and all of the other Roulette Calculator family members. Now in this video, I'm going to break apart the area key, which is a tool that we use to consistently double our money when we're playing roulette using this strategy. And the way it works is quite simple. We're looking at areas of the roulette wheel and we're making educated bets based on what the dealer or the table's history is showing us. So I hope you enjoy this video. Make sure you watch it all the way to the end so you fully get a grasp of how it works. And in the video, I pause it occasionally and explain exactly what we're doing and why this system works. I hope you like it. Speak to you soon. Hi and welcome to my gameplay session where we're explaining the area key and the reverse area key strategy. Now my starting balance is £49.50, which is where we left off from the last video that I recorded. And I just wanted to explain because a lot of people ask me what sort of betting amounts they should use when using the area key, particularly when they're covering 19 numbers or half the table. I always like to do a multiple, so if I got £100 in my account, I would do a £1 stake, so it's a 1% per number, so obviously it will be a higher bet than that, but it's £1 per number. In my case, I've got £49.50, so I'd be looking at doing 50 pence per number on the area key there. So we're going to get straight to it. I'm going to press play and we're going to watch our session and I'm going to explain a little bit about what I'm doing and what I'm looking for. So as you can see here, this is the roulette table. It's a 50 pence minimum bet. So I'm setting the settings to 19 numbers and setting the betting depth to 0. So that gives us an idea what to look for. So I'm just going to pause it there for a second. So as you can see with the area key, once you enter the number and we've got the settings at 19 numbers and we're betting at 0, you'll see it highlight on the table there. Now you can see the last number that I entered was number 10, so it's showing us 9 numbers to the left of that and 9 numbers to the right. So that's what we would call the area key or the positive. The reverse area key is if you look on the other side, which is just there, you can see the unhighlighted numbers, and that's what we would refer to as the reverse area key. So what we're doing is looking for a dealer or a table that is showing a level of consistency where more, basically if the highlighted section hits more often or the unhighlighted section hits more often. So this is what we do. I'm just logging the table there, the one in the middle called roulette. First number was number 10. Now you can see that number 12 is on the opposite side, okay? And then from number 12, that goes to 14, which is still in the highlighted zone, which you can see there to the far left. So once we enter number 14, the next number was number 24, which again is in the highlighted section, and then that went to number 5, which is in, it went to 13, which is in the highlighted section. So basically I'm looking at this table thinking this is a good one because she's hit I think 4 in the highlighted section and 1 in the non-highlighted section. So what I'll do is go to the table. Now I'm just going to pause that there because the very first one that you can see there where it says number 2, we minus 1 off of that number because that's our starting point. So no matter what that is, you minus 1. So if it says 1, that means it's a 0. And of course, that just gives you a starting point because if any of these, if they were all zeros when they first came out, you wouldn't know where you started. So there's just a little tip on that. I've explained that in a few of my videos. But you can already see that we've had a depth of 1, that was a starting. And then it basically means that it missed the highlighted section and then hit the highlighted section. That gave it a depth of 1. Then the rest is 0, 0, as you can see there. So I'm going to carry on logging this dealer. And we've entered number 11, which again is in the highlighted section there. So this dealer's starting to look like she's got a good trend for betting on the highlighted area of the table. Now bear in mind my balance is £49.50. What I like to do when I'm playing a session like this is to double my money. So if I've got £50 in my account, I'll try and take it to 100. If I've got 100, I'll try and take that to 200. Now you can do a session progression. That rhymes, I like that. That's mine, okay? No one else steal that. A session progression. So basically in this case I've got £50 essentially. If I take that to £100, I'll leave it for an hour or two and then maybe go and find another session, and then instead of doing a 50p bet, I'll start a £1 bet because I've got 100 in the account there. So as you can see on this spin, I've put 50p per number on number 25 and the 9 numbers to the left and right. So I'm betting on the highlighted section. Now you can do this without the calculators. It is a lot easier if you have got the calculators, because if it goes on the opposite side, the reverse area key, you're not going to see, it'll be, well, I mean you can work it out, but it's a bit of a pain in the ass. So as you can see, the win came in there. Just going to pause the video there so you can see we had a depth of 1, then we had 0, 0, 0, 0. So we've got a nice block of zeros, meaning it's landed on that highlighted number more often than not. So let's carry on with the video. And you can see now I'm putting the bet straight on number 32, which is where the last result was. So we're just hoping that she carries on with the trend of hitting those highlighted numbers. Now it's important to watch the dealer and where she's spinning the ball from, and also how fast she's spinning the ball and the wheel, because sometimes they change it up, and if they do that, you don't want to be betting on the wrong side. So obviously paying attention to what the table's doing as well is really important. Now you see that went to number 0, which is right next to the center of where we bet on 32. So that's another solid win there. So with this particular gameplay session, I'm not doing any progression, I'm doing flat betting. Now I'm going to pause that there again so you can see this is what we're looking for. Of course we had the depth of 1 there, but then the rest of them is all zeros here, which means all the highlighted numbers are hitting. Now of course it's never going to stay on the zeros forever, but what we're looking for is the majority. Now if it was like 0 then 4, 0 then 3, 0 then 2, you'd be thinking this dealer isn't very consistent, so I'd jump out of the table and log another one. But when you see a nice big block like that, that's when you want to be betting. But also if you notice that it suddenly changes, you'll sit out. So I'm going to carry on with the video, and hopefully this is giving you a bit of insight and explaining exactly what we're talking about here. Now of course if you're not a member of Roulette calculators, you should definitely set yourself up a free account, and you can chat to not only myself but all of the other members that are within that community. So here again you see it's gone to number 12, so that's given us another win, and it's on the highlighted section again. Now I do want to talk about what a few people have mentioned to me. With this particular strategy we do get quite a few wins in a row, and that's where it's good for a Paroli system, where you get the win and then you double your bet, and if that wins you double your bet again, and if that wins that's it, you basically, you're out, you've made your money for the day. And it does work, you know, I've tested that a few times, but if you find a strategy where you can just flat bet, where you're not changing the amount, you're not doing a progression, and your balance keeps going up and up, then you know you've got a good system there. So you can see this one was a little bit unlucky, we missed it by a couple, it went to number 34. So because I've looked at the history of the table, it looks fairly good. We've had a lot of zeros, but you should keep in mind that there was that depth of 1 where we first started, so it does happen. Now I'm going on the same section, the highlighted section of the table again, and I can see that she's kind of speeded the wheel up a lot compared to the first few spins. If you notice, it's flying around a lot faster. And I should have actually observed that and watched it, but it's quite difficult when you're in the zone and you're just playing. But you can see there it definitely went to the wrong side. We did miss it only by 3 numbers, but it was definitely a miss. So what I do now, I believe I sit out on this hand just to watch what happens, because like I said, if they've suddenly changed the speed and they're going the opposite direction, landing on the unhighlighted section, you don't want to be betting on the highlighted section, because of course you're going to lose every time. So it is worth just taking a moment and watching another spin or another 2 spins just to basically get a gauge on what's happening with this particular dealer or the table. Now I can see there that the wheel's a bit slower now, so she slowed it down more than it was on the last spin, and you can see here it's just landed in the highlighted section again perfectly on number 19 there. So that would have given me a win, but it isn't worth making the bet every go. But now I've seen that, I'm going to give it another try. And of course the whole concept of it is just to keep building your balance slowly and steadily. And there's too many people that get angry, and if they lose a hand, they're just desperate to try and win that money back, and then they just start increasing their bet until it's all gone. With the flat betting, as long as you're winning more than you're losing, you're always going to make profit. So as you can see there, I've just paused it. We had the depth of 1 there on the 8th win, then we had a nice big block of zeros, meaning the highlighted sections, and in that case we had a depth of 2, but the depth of 2 came out, meaning it landed on the highlighted section, so that's why I bet on the highlighted area again. And as you can see here, it's landed on number 12, which has given me the win. So now my balance is up to £64.50, and as I mentioned, my goal for this is to double my money and make £100, make £50 profit, taking my balance up to £100. So I'm sticking with the highlighted area again. As you can see, it's the bet has been placed on the neighbours of number 12. So we're going to see how this goes. So far we've been playing for about 7 minutes, so not long. And as you can see there, it's gone to number 21. That was a bit lucky. I mean, it landed perfectly in the area, but it did catapult back. But luckily we still got the win there, and that's the beauty of covering 19 numbers, because we're covering a big section of the board, and it's much better to be betting on the area of the wheel rather than red or black or highs or lows, odds and evens, because there's really no pattern that you can decipher with that. It's purely random, and that's what these casinos rely on. When we're betting on a section of the wheel and we're betting on the dealer and how they're spinning the ball, then that's how we can make some money. Now this is a bit of a horrible spin there. You saw that it's just been looping around the table, and we do find them occasionally. Unfortunately, it was unlucky for us. It was motoring around. If you want to just skip back a few seconds, you can see that it's not what I would call a true spin. So I carry on sticking to the highlighted section, and we're going to give it another try. And as I said, it's all about getting more wins than losses, and you'll find that a lot of the times you'll get a big streak. Like if you look back in the graph there that we've shown you, we had that big block of zeros. Now unfortunately I wasn't betting on all of them because I was logging the table, but that happens whilst you're playing as well, and that's when you really want to take advantage of them. So we got the win on that case. We hit number 12, which has put us up to £72. So we're nearly halfway to our target there. So I'm going to put the bet straight back on number 12. You see we've had number 12 pop out 3 times out of the last 6 or 7 spins there. As mentioned, you can do this strategy without using the calculators. The calculators, they just make it a lot easier and a lot easier to see the patterns. And at the end of the day, if you're using them correctly, the membership fee shouldn't bother you at all, because it's we're not that expensive. But you see number 3's come in. That's given us another win there. So I'm just going straight back on the area. I'm going to pause the video there, so again that you can see we had the 1, then we had that big block of zeros, and then it went to a depth of 2, a couple more zeros, a depth of 1, and then another 0. So we're going to carry on playing the video now, and you'll see that we're carrying on with the highlighted section. And she's fairly consistent where she keeps spinning the ball from. You know, I would say it's one of those dealers that you want to look out for. Okay, so that went to number 9. So again, we've got the win on that instance. And that's put our balance up to £89. So we're very close to hitting our target now. So if we just carry on with the structure that we're doing, we're going to get the win-win-win, then a loss, win-win-win, then a loss. And as long as that carries on, you're always going to be going in profit. But it is important to set yourself a target. Don't get too greedy, because if you do that, you start losing focus and you stop paying attention to the dealer and the speed of the wheel. And if you can make £50 in sort of 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes, that's pretty good. A lot of people work all day for that. And you can always scale up. I just like, I get a lot of messages of people asking me, you know, they've only got a small bankroll and they're wondering if the system would work. So now you can see here my balance is £97.50. Now I could sit out on this one because I've pretty much doubled my money, but I decided to go for it and see what happens. Like I said, she is behaving quite well, so it's you know, I believe I actually missed the number on this one, but then I get 2 wins in a row. So as I said, with this strategy, you need to be hitting more wins than losses, and of course you've seen it already with this particular dealer. We're definitely hitting a lot more of the highlighted numbers than the non-highlighted numbers. So this one here didn't really faze me too much. She went to number 25, and of course that just means that I need to get another win to pretty much put myself back to where I was, and then another win to get to my target. So I just go straight in with the highlighted bet here on number 25. And the dealer is fairly consistent. If you look at what she does, she picks up the bull and she spins it pretty much from the number that she picked it up from, which is what we're looking for. You find some dealers are consistent and then they just hold on to the bull for half a revolution of the wheel, and that's what we try to avoid. Also, you'll find dealers that do the alternate spinning as well when they rotate the wheel from left to right. That can also you know, put a downer on the game because they're not keeping it consistent. Some do though, some do keep it consistent, but others don't. Okay, so you can see I'm back to £96.50. So because we're covering 19 numbers, we lose £1 after we lose and then win. So it's like a £1 loss or a 50p loss in this case, I think it is. So all I need now is another win, and you can see there on the graph, we've had plenty of zeros here. We had a 2, a couple more zeros, a 1, 3 zeros, and then a 1. So all we need is just another 0, and that puts us to our target, and that is us done for this particular session. So I'm pretty sure it comes in on this spin. I can't quite remember. Yes, it does. So see there, number 25. So right next door to 17, which is where we put the bet, and that's given us our well, it's over £50 that we took, but that's our session there now. So as you can see, I'm highlighting it there, £105. So on the next session, what I would do is jump onto a table, and instead of using a 50p stake, I would use £1 per number stake. And instead of taking a £50 profit, I could then take a £100 profit, and that's how we can scale this up. But again, remember not to get greedy, and if you can make enough that is enough for you to live on each day, then you're doing well there. So as you can see, we finish it up here. I end up quitting out of the casino and just showing you that it is real money. So many people play with play money, and I don't think that's fair because they can just keep refreshing it and go, oh look, best strategy in the world. So I'm going to pause the video there quickly and just say to you again, if you enjoy these videos, if you like them, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Also drop your comments below. If you're not a member of Roulette Calculators, make sure you hit the link in the description and set yourself up a free account and chat to all of the Roulette Calculators family. We're a friendly bunch and we always try and help everyone out. So take care guys, and bet smart.